Lady Jean, who tends to be a little bit more on the back line. You need some way to get in there. But why teams have kind of struggled with the Elaine pick is that they tend to go ham. Like, they go out, they get overextended, and the rest of the team cannot catch up in terms of mobility. So it's one of those things where if Loops is able to stick together, definitely have that well-coordinated attack, they can make it a difficult game for Boom Esports here.
Yep. In order to make it difficult, they need backline access as well, which is why Boom's going to ban out the two heroes that give you the biggest burst and the biggest backline access. That's going to be the Prince of Lanling along with Jing, Mirror Blade as well. So that's going to keep the Lady Chen safe for the time being. But hey, welcome to the Flaming Spears. It's going to be the Nerza coming in for this side of Loops. So you're going to expect a lot of split fights, right? They want to split Boom apart, cut them in half.
Cut them in half, but it kind of comes back to Boom Esports. I think a lot of the strategy that we see will rely kind of on Athena's vision, right, that she provides throughout. The Sun Tzu and the Fang both being picked up here in return as a counter pick for Boom Esports. What are your thoughts on these two picks here?
Huge burst, huge control as well. Fang is one of the farm laners that's going to be very, very strong in the early game. Once he gets his target sighted on any one of these heroes, you can expect very huge bursts. And also, with the wheel away, he's going to have iframes for days. He's going to run away from the damage on the side of Loops as well.
Okay, so a lot of potential here. But now, okay, last pick. What are you bringing to it? It's been pretty stock standard. I think Neza was a little bit of a pick to kind of deal with the potential backline and spacing and split pushing. But what is it that really wrong? Okay, Heino. There we go.
Yeah, at this point, I'm going to question the Loops pick into Heino a little bit. Heino, at this point, yes, he offers a lot of sustain, but it feels like they're lacking in the burst damage department. Sure, if Arlie gets the farm, they will have the time of their life. But once again, with a pick like Athena, that's going to, dwindle and dilute the amount of gold you're able to get in the early stages of the game.
Yeah, it has the potential. I do think that, Sherry's Arlie, I think is top tier, right? One of the best Arlie players going back to, again, Season 2. You'll see the rise of it again. I think that at the end of the day, you want to go in with your best foot forward. I think that Loops is still kind of, this is the traditional Loops team that we know. But if we're looking at the draft here, who do you give the edge to?
I am actually looking at probably Boom Esports, because at this point, I think the draft makes a little bit more sense. It's easier to execute as well, right? So it takes a lot of pressure off of your players, because it is a, hey, let's set sail, go into the boat, bam, and okay, everyone spam your skills. That's it, we get the kill, get out.
Okay. And do you think that the SEA show match that got themselves in, I mean, they did a 3-0 against RRQ, is that going to really kind of create the momentum that they need going into this group stage here?
Oh, for sure. And at this point, it looks like, Loops have identified, hey, there's a lot of momentum. Let's crush that by invading your jungle straight away at level 1.
Yeah, but impressive doing it on this side, understanding that they, Loops is going to invade, so he's going to invade their side. Impressive is going to take the top side.
All right, so no buffs secured just yet for the side of Loops, and they have actually given away the first buff on the top lane over to the side of Boom.
Yeah, and they're going to give this one up. But again, it's still one of those things where, okay, draft-wise, who needs to have the better early game?
I think it definitely needs to be Loops, right? I don't think it's going to be easy for them to sustain against the early game damage coming out from Boom. Boom have a very early game-centric draft.
Okay. I do see that. I think it seems like they're prioritizing at least the mid lane. They have 3 members of Boom Esports there. That will push. But Mithy, okay. Mithy sticking around in the bottom lane needs to create that space for that Sherry. Because again, you were talking about the fact that Loops does need to have that early game. Having Arlie get that farm and letting Sherry work is the play, and that's what you want to do.
Yep, exactly. They need to buy a lot of time for this Arlie. So Zere, he needs to do a lot of work, but he needs the help of his teammates as well. Let's take a look at the growth of the items. It's going to be a slightly different style. So more attack coming in for the side of Pei, and more defensive with the Patrol X coming out for the Nerza. So ABH, he wants to be able to sustain through team fights, but we might not have the best time here. Impressive. This is throwback to Season 2. He's going to be extremely irritating. He's going to be very disruptive as well.
Yeah, and that's kind of what you want to do. You want to be, in the enemy jungle, just providing all that vision. Where are the minions? Where are the jungle creep camps still alive? Are there any respawning? All of that stuff. That information is key, and they need to do that. But at the same time, you're playing the rest of the map 4 versus 5. this Athena pick, I mean, would you like something if this was your team?
I would appreciate the vision that the Athena gives, but I would appreciate more kills coming in. So impressive to make this draft work for them. He needs to be able to get some kills besides just taking away camps. And every camp that he does not manage to steal is actually a deficit to the side of Boom Esports.
Look at it, impressive, just being harassed. I mean, this is the way you want to do it. You want. I know it seems silly, but this, you're again providing vision. But Toshi somehow alive, and it looks like Sherry's gonna go down. What do you think about that?
It's a huge deficit now for the side of Loops, right? So Boom Esports, this is the growth that they're looking for, and impressive once again. It's all about that information. He's giving vision. He will give his life for the cause at this point, and he is going to commit. So at this point, Loops, they need to take a look at how do they make it more sustainable, right? Sure, you can get the kills on impressive. That's a bunch of gold, maybe a little bit of EXP, but the rest of the map is not in your favor.
For the record, he did get the blue buff before he died. He used the smite. Manchuri gets it, and now impressive. Just, you know, it's one of those things where you're just constantly hounding them. This is like, I expect like the ghost that's going to happen. But walk me through this replay here.
Yep, so at this point, impressive. He does a little bit of work. He buys a lot of time, but you know, at this point, the kill onto Zeri is so hurtful to the side of Loops because Zeri is the main damage dealer coming out later parts of the game. Okay. So the moment they put a cap on the growth of Zeri, especially like against someone like Toshi on his farm, who is going to deal immense amounts of damage already with S1, his target sighted, it's not an ideal situation for the side of Loops.
Okay, let's talk a little. Okay, as ABH getting run up on, he's going to go 1 versus 3. He will go down, and it looks like Agistix will get that kill, and the Meteor kill knocking up Agistix. He's going to back off. Boom Esports got that kill, and it looks like they're just going to kind of run away scot-free, maybe? Impressive again, just doing the traditional strat, we know.
Yep, it's going to be 2-2 in terms of the kill score, but the advantage definitely going into Boom Esports' hands. Right now, we're going to be looking at our first objectives of the game. 4.5 minutes in, it's going to be the first Tyrant as well as the first Shadow Vanguard. Yeah. Or Shadow Overlord, sorry.
Okay, Toshi Fang versus Sherry's Arlie. Who needs to have the better game? Better early game, excuse me.
At this point, like I mentioned, I think Zeri needs a lot of time because at this point, unless the Maple Dance gets rid of the target sighted, it's not going to be ideal for the side of Loops. And as it stands now, impressive, right? Doing so much work once again for Boom Esports, buying so much time. Every single time he gets away, that's time bought.
Time bought ABH with yet another kill. You know, impressive doing his job, right? And in that top T2, Agistix getting a little bit low. He Moonlight flashes, but the Death that Sunset chasing him down. Tempest wants it, not able to do it. He's going to dive under tower. He's going to go for this. Gets the Meteor kill, gets the kill, but he will die in return.
Yep, that's a fair trade at this point. You know, Boom are on a massive timer as well. They can play this very early game aggression, but how long can they do it for? It's not going to be, you know, sustainable in the long run.
Yeah, not sustainable. And, okay, we're going in this one. 5 versus 3. He's going to set sail. Maybe he gets the pick off. No, he's just going to move around, get to relocate, so to speak. Sherry does get the tower bottom. That's a pretty big spike for him. And again, we're seeing Sherry just kind of getting that farm. You were talking about how he needs to have that better game. He's already kind of in the lead. I mean, Loops is doing a good job.
Yep, okay, so Doomsday, great. That's the first item that's necessary for the side of Arlie, right? But at this point, you have to bear in mind that Toshi gets the Meteor as well. He's going to have a lot of armor penetration. So he's going to add on to that burst potential. Right now, impressive 1v3. He does not care. This is what he needs to do.
Yeah, it dies yet again. ABH is like, oh my gosh, this is like the cockroach that does not die. It's constantly coming back, haunting my dreams. Just let me cook in the kitchen, man.
Yep, exactly. They're going to take the insect repellent at this point, but it's not really working too much because he is in their faces. So right now, Boom Esports, they have a lot of information. They know that there's the jungler in the blue buff. They also know that the lane, Tempest, is now busy. So this 2-on-1 is a potential kill.
Yeah, 2-on-1 continuing on. But now in the top lane, Mythy making a play. We haven't seen too many roaming, rotations, so to speak. But Mythy going up in that one. And it looks like, you know, Sherry will take the top lane as well. But the Portal in the bottom lane, Tempest gets the Meteor kill onto Miggy. He flashes away. He tries to go for this one. He's going to continue to fight, realizing he's in a bad spot. And it looks like he will eventually fall, and Tempest will get credit for that.
Yep, that was a big play by the side of Loops. They actually made the target side of go to waste on the side of Toshi, and that's why they won the fight, right? Because there's no additional damage offered by the Fang. At this point, like I said, the timer is ticking, and Loops, they are getting in strides really, really soon.
Yeah, and Impressive, again, just being scurried away. Sherry and Mithy they want to farm in peace. Impressive not letting them. But again, the top T1 has been taken out, so you do have a little bit of space by Boom ESPORTS. And again, it's just a matter of just dragging them away. Yes, you're bait. But it's continuing on with the strategy, and you know where they are. But here's a set sail. They do connect. And Mithy, he's going to take this one to the face. He's got the wave breaker. He does have that shield. And it looks like ABH, though, is going to chase this one. They're solo, and AJ6 just goes down. Miggy's going to be down as well, and ABH on a killing spree.
Skyfall with the binds and the fire tip spears, they are burning them alive. The time is up. Loops have hit their power spike, and this is a big shift in momentum.
Yeah, and Impressive was a ghost form, so to speak. He saw all of it, not really much he could do. He's just watching it, seeing the people that are still alive. And again, it's very a difficult situation because he wants to fight, he wants to help, but he couldn't do much. And Boom ESPORTS right now really got hit hard. I mean, this 10-3 lead that Loops has, they're definitely in the driver's seat here.
Oh, for sure. And, you know, the marker for this is actually when Mithy survives, right? With the wave breaker, with the heals as well, he was able to sustain through the fight. So he gets the heals onto the team, allows them to build so much space for Zeri to really just go crazy into the backlines as well. And with another ABH, that was perfect timing on the Skyfall. And, of course, with the bind, he's able to chase down multiple targets every now and then. And with the fire tip spear, with the burning damage, true damage, in fact, here comes the truth. Loops looking to take these BO1.
Yeah, that was actually the timing. I mean, you mentioned it. I mean, it could not have been better, right? It's the fight was about to happen. It was 2 versus 2, and then all of a sudden, ABH coming out of left field, ensuring that they do secure those kills. But it looks like they've gotten Impressive. No, yeah, they do. Sherry will get credit for this one, and now they're going to back off. And again, Impressive on the bottom side. ABH diving deep. Does need to be a little bit careful, though. He was kind of on the wrong side of that one.
Yep, almost. Here comes the backup.
Oh, and Tempest wants to go for this one. They got Miggy, and they're going to look to continue on. The Death at Sunset. He chases. Tempest goes down. Gets the meteor kill onto Logistics. Does kill him as well. And again, all they can do is watch.
Celestial Melody. That's what you want to hear if you're a fan of Loops Esports here. They take away the kills. They take away the structures as well. Impressive can only stand by and watch. Loops are in the lead.
Yeah, definitely in the lead here. Definitely feeling it. Making nice rotations, getting good team fights. And that's kind of what you want. Impressive has been scouted out, but he's been killed going into the team fight. So, you know, Boom ESPORTS really can't take any of these big team fights 4 versus 5, but here's the replay.
Yep, that jump in from the back Tempest did so much work. This is what we're talking about. They want to split the fight, right? So nobody's actually able to defend the important members. Toshi here already falling behind level 11. He does not have the same kind of itemizations as Zeri. Zeri is 2 levels ahead of him. And right after this play, Zeri rewarded himself with the Eternity Blade as well. So that's a lot of critical damage coming in.
A lot of damage. And just the potential for outplay is so high. Again, I think in the draft I was talking about the fact that a lane has that Death at Sunset, but if you have 2 Death at Sunset with Celestial Melody, you have your get out of jail free card, and that's kind of what they're able to do. But now this Overlord gets in for this one. Kank going in. Tempest wants this one. The set sail, and he's trying to go in. The Starfall on the backside. ABH is going to go, and they want to go for this one. The Death at Sunset, the Meteor kill on top of it, and Logistics is down.
Yep, okay, so it's not an ideal situation coming in from the side of Boom ESPORTS, but take a look at what Impressive is doing. He's trying his best to cut the waves, making sure he can get a tier 3 on the bottom. That's a good play at this point, but is it good enough? Because Loops, they are having a pretty sizable lead at this point.
Tough situation, right? They have the numbers advantages. It's down for another 13 seconds. And LPS knocking on the door of the T3 here. They're going to back off, just kind of regroup here. But Impressive, down again.
Yep, they knocked on the door, but Impressive opened their door. It is a tier 3 taken. And Impressive, let me say, that was impressive.
Okay, all right. No, they definitely need that. They need some sort of space. And Loops need to be careful. The back door is open, so to speak. They can go for the base race, potentially. And we have seen that even in the grand finals, but it looks like the Overlord here, Impressive scouting this one out. This might be a huge one, as here comes the set sail, does connect. They do have the Ocean of Tears knocking them up as well, and it looks like Dragon is going to be the first to fall on this one. They're focusing it down. Logistics is going to be killed. ABH will get the double kill. They've gotten Toshi on top of this, and Loops with 3 members down, or 3 kills. It looks like Loops definitely won that team fight.
Yep, it looks like the doors are wide open. That's going to be 20 seconds at least for the fastest member to come out, and that's going to be Dragon. At this point, Wavebreaker going to help them heal back up. Loops, like we said, in control, and they can definitely ignore Impressive at this point. Just one person to keep them, away. They just need that entry into the tier 3.
Yeah, the Fate Rewind was expended, but it looks like it's going to be traded for the T3. Impressive on the run, just trying to chase them away. Tempest is not letting him go. But at the same time, Loops right now just backing off, taking an Overlord. Perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect time indeed, and Mithy with the ultimate available as well. Celestial Melody, we could be looking at the potential end of the game once this Shadow Overlord is taken.
Easy peasy. They've hit the 20 kill mark. Loops, that is, but it's only a 6K net worth lead. I would think that it would have been much, much higher. But now Boom Esports, okay, you're in this situation. The strategy kind of not really working. You don't really have a whole lot of map control. Yes, you have the vision. You have the backdoor open bottom. But what is the play for Boom Esports?
They have to find Zeri. That's the only person that is worth the kill at this point. Because if you go for Tempest, he has the Blood Rage as well. He's not worth the kill. He's going to be able to kill off the backlines as well. At the same time, Kanka, with the ultimate Fate Rewind, he's going to have a worldy at this point for team fights, as well as the fact that Kanka actually got the Twilight Stream. So every single one of his hits on that Scepter of Fate is going to get more and more painful.
Yeah, definitely painful. They have the farm, they have the equipment, and they're starting to do a lot of damage. And Boom Esports realize that they actually can't really take a team fight. They're looking to do a split push bottom here, maybe delay the inevitable.
Yep, I don't think they have a very strong wave going in. It's easy wave clear. Skyfall committed.
Oh, Skyfall, but he kind of, Dragon does get away from this. He did expend the flash, so he did get that, but the top T3 has been taken now. Loops eSport in full control.
Yeah, that was a worthwhile trade, right? It doesn't matter if I burn out the Skyfall, you burn out the flash. Skyfall's cooldown way faster.
Yeah, way faster. And I mean, it's one of those things where, Boom Esports is like, he's coming at me. I got to run. I got to get to safety. And no real chance. Everybody backed off. Nobody was looking to defend that top T3. So now this is a situation where Boom Esports, yes, you have the bottom that is open, but it's, probably the next big objective after this Tyrant here by Loops.
Yep, and that's the only pathway that Loops is left with to kind of put themselves in a much better position. So I think checkmate at this point, because Loops, they seem to have figured Boom Esports out.
Yeah, and how do you deal with a death ball? This is what the right way. Skyfall going in for this. He's focusing it in. He wants to kill Toshi. And ABH actually has the damage. The rolling rate, Toshi is down the wheel away, not able to get to safety. But now Miggy's being chased. Loops are looking to just clean up all of the different lanes, protecting the lanes, and again, just pushing out all the different, the bottom lanes.
Yep, and this is where you see ABH picking up this Nuts was really smart, because with this Skyfall, he's able to cancel out the set sail. You can't run.
Yeah, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. And looks like Tempest chasing after him. Logistics is going to eat that death at Sunset. He's been Meteor killed as well, but, Tempest is the one that's low. And he does have to back up, but here come the reinforcements. They get the knock up. If he gets one kill and Dragon is down, ABH finds him, but Miggy is going to be killed as well. That's 3 members down. They're looking to take this, and they end the game, and Loops does it in style at 15 minutes. They've got 23 or 24 to 4.
Brazil, here we go. Loops, they managed to get one game. This will put them in a perfect position on the side of Group B here, joining the likes of KPL Dream Team. Of course, I'm really curious to see what our analysts think of this game and whether that was a big enough growth to really put a performance against KPL Dream Team. Now, bear in mind, they have to meet them later on in the games as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a best of one. It's one of those ones where they did get that.
And try to do the lane outplay his opponent.
And talking about Tempest, he's going to be our match MVP on that lane. Look at that KDA, man. 10-1-5. Insane performance by Tempest on one of our favorite heroes at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of lost in the jungle, but Lin, Tempest just take the first blood and try to stabilize the pace of the game, and then he just outplay on the top lane and just let everything to be in control again by LPS.
Yeah, I feel like, Boom did really, really well in the beginning. I feel like the time was running out towards that 6, 7 minute mark. Their goal started to diminish a little bit until the goal equalized, then Loops came back.
And that's exactly what I was talking to Nora. Like, when we were watching the game, it was about that. It's just, as long as you have a gold advantage, the Athena pick, amazing. But